The Amalfi The Amalfi Coast was the most charming coastal line I've honestly ever experienced in my short life.
So the next morning we found a trail called the Path of the Gods. And to get to the trail you had to hike all the way up through the town of Amalfi, and it was kind of a steep hike. But I mean, Amalfi is pretty much built on a hill.
On a cliff.
On a cliff. I mean, it was pretty insane how steep of a hike up. They said it was an easy to moderate hike, but it was maybe moderate to difficult. But anyways, it was an amazing hike. There were lizards running all over, and we had to hike up through all the lemon orchards and
lime and oranges. It smells so good.
I mean, Amalfi's known for their citrus fruit, and we know why. So once we got past all of the citrus fields and whatnot, we passed a lot of waterfalls, a lot of old abandoned buildings from the medieval ages. It was just amazing. I mean, you'll have to look it up if you ever go to Amalfi, the Path of the Gods. It is well worth the effort and the sweat to get there.
And let us know if you catch a lizard, because we only could catch one.
Yeah, they're fast.
I'm still imagining the gelato I had in Amalfi.
She couldn't remember the name, so she went, remember that?
It was delicious. It had Nutella in it. It was great. But we ate our gelato on the steps of extremely steep steps of the cathedral that's in the city square, where everyone in the town hangs out. There's restaurants and there's shops, and I mean shops with souvenirs and clothing and markets. It's, you know, extremely busy little town. The next morning, we got to ride a water taxi, which is so fun. It's just a fancy word for technically a ferry, but it was so fun. It took us past these extremely rigid cliffs that would go down deep down into the ocean. It took us past extremely expensive houses that had their own
beaches, their own docks.
Their own beaches and docks, and that was right along the Mediterranean Sea. And the water taxi took us to a town called Positano.
We arrived in Positano. I was starving and I was starting to get extremely hangry. So we kind of walked around forever trying to find a good restaurant to eat at that wasn't extremely expensive, and we ended up just getting some food at a market and having kind of our own little picnic and whatnot. After we ate, we found a little walkway that we kind of walked on. It kind of wrapped up and around the cliffs and overlooked the port and the Mediterranean, and it led us to a little remote beach called Fornillo Beach, and it was a really romantic beach. It was kind of came off to be more private and a lot more, well, a lot less people, I should say. There was like nobody there, but it was in a really beautiful walk and a beautiful beach, and that was probably one of my more favorite spots in Positano. One of my more favorite spots in Positano.
Positano was adorable. You know, we got to walk through the town. There were so many free art galleries that we spent half of the day wandering in and out of. But one of my favorite parts of the day is just when we sat down by the beach and just were lazy. We hung out, we soaked up the sun, we went swimming. I can't believe how warm the water was. I can't believe how clear.
No, it was way clear. It was almost creepily clear.
Yeah, how clear the water was. But one thing that shocked me big time was how salty the water was. I guess I was not expecting the Mediterranean Sea to be salty. But Positano definitely should make it on your top 10 as well.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Our Europe trip was honestly the trip of a lifetime. Everyone constantly is asking me, you know, what is your favorite part? What did you enjoy the most? But they were also different in their own ways. I can't believe, you know, countries that are that small, that are all that close to each other, can have such a diverse cultural experience. You can have such a diverse cultural experience in every single country.
Yeah.
The food was great.
Food was amazing.
If it wasn't for kind and gracious and patient people, we would still be stuck over there.
Probably in Amsterdam airport. The European trip for me was an amazing time, and it came with a lot of first times for me. I've never rode metros like that go that fast underground with that many people on them, so many people you can't move. I've never been on trains that go over 200 miles an hour. I've never been in that big of cities, so it was really overwhelming at times that wouldn't be overwhelming to like Jade. But I as well don't really have a favorite place. That's a lie. Zermatt was the most amazing place I've ever been in my life. But yeah, I mean, Europe is probably a go back to place for sure. Yeah, good.